I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stump The Guru. My name is Ari Galper with Trust-Based Selling. I've been at this for 20 years now, specializing in how to build trust in the sales process all the way through from the point of initial contact until the engagement. And we specialize in building unique, what I call trust-based languaging and phraseology and a different mindset for how to build trust with people to collapse the process in a very different and unique way that you're probably used to. This is our live show we do once a month. People from all over the world come in to ask me a live question. It's called Stump the Guru because there's no pre-planning. People come with questions that they have that they're working on in their current sales pipeline. So if you're listening live right now, please go to www.stumptheguru.com. Just click on that. It'll put you in the back room here, and then we'll call you in to ask me a live question. And any questions you're allowed to ask related to your marketing, selling, anything you're chasing right now, anybody in your pipeline, or any help you might need around bringing somebody in towards the end of the year as a new client. So we do live coaching every single day around the world around our unique process of trust-based selling. So today's theme, or at least initial topic to begin to kick off the show, is what I hear a lot of people telling me when they say to me, Ari, what do I say when someone says to me, I want to think about it? Which is the kiss of death if you're in selling. And usually people kind of freak out, not sure what to do, and they let them go, and it gets kind of messy from there. And we view that's typically viewed as objection, where we have to either overcome it or resist it. And so we view things differently here at Unlock the Game. When we get resistance from people, we don't try to overcome it. We diffuse it, we re-engage again to get what we call is getting to the truth, not the sale, to understand what is happening in the back of their mind. So let me give you an example of what you might say if someone says to you, I would like to think about it. Here's what you say. You say, that's not a problem. That's fine. No problem at all. And you pause, take a deep breath, and you say this. You say, I'm just curious. What other questions or concerns or thoughts do you have about this that I haven't yet answered that would make you feel more comfortable with everything so far? What's still on your mind? When you deliver it that way, with that tonality, the softness in your voice, and that languaging, it is not cornering them into a yes for a sale. What it does is encourages them to tell you the truth of what's on their mind. Why they're hesitating? What's holding them back? What's the real concern? Look, if they're not a fit, no problem, disengage. But your goal inside your conversation is to build enough trust with them where they feel comfortable opening up to you and sharing with you the truth of where they stand. And that's your goal, because if you get the truth of someone, then you know if it's going to happen or not. If it's not going to happen, then you can disengage. See, most people in selling are programmed and conditioned to believe their goal is to get to the sale. In our world, our goal is to get to the truth, which is very different. Because if you're focused on the sale, you're putting pressure on people to move them forward. When you're focusing on the truth, instead, you're going deeper, behind the layers, behind the walls, to find out what their real issues are. And when you unpack that and have them feel comfortable with that, and what I call create a moment of vulnerability with them, then they open up to you and share with you what they stand. You can work with them from there, and they trust you more. And that is the goal, because right now in our society, trust is at its lowest point it ever has been before. And when you can really master the art of trust, not selling, but the art of trust with people, and people will want to work with you. They'll want to pay you more, because what they're looking for is people they can trust, not people who can sell them something. So that's the language you need to use in that specific scenario. If you have other scenarios you want to ask me, or you want me to talk about in future Stump the Guru shows, please reach out to us at unlockthegame.com. If you want to do a private consultation with me or my team, just go to unlockthegame.com/free consult. So Steve, we'll open up the show and let us know who's in the back room there to jump in and ask a question.
All righty, we're ready to go. It's the holiday edition, so happy holidays to everybody. It's the beginning of the season, and it's the last Stump the Guru of 2022, and we've got a lot of good stuff in store for next year. So first up is going to be Rob Collins. Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy? If you could let me know who you are and a little bit about your business, and then your question for Ari, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So we're a Australian-based digital transformation agency and provide end-to-end services from design to development, maintenance, and build world first using creative technology. So I have a kind of two-part question, but exactly on, I suppose, the theme that you were talking, Ari. So obviously we're in holiday season, especially down in Australia, summer holidays and Christmas coming up. Is there any particular way or signs? You've mentioned diffusing and obviously building trust, but is there any other tips you can give on how you can spot a genuine delaying excuse versus, tire kicking, or before someone turns, into business ghosting?
Well, this goes back to, like, you're right, what I mentioned, which is getting to the truth. Meaning you have to know within yourself if it's a smoke bomb or it's real. You have to know internally if you can tell you're hearing a typical objection like, we're not ready yet, we want to think about it. What you have to do is not accept their premise as true. You have to help them feel comfortable telling you everything around what they just told you. So if they say to you, Rob, we don't quite have the budget yet to move this thing forward, you might say, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Okay.
As opposed to, oh, okay, then we'll talk next year when you get the budget. See, most people assume when they hear something like that, that's the end of the process. And it might be. Once you fully understand the totality of the context to what they just said, right? So they might say, well, with our budget alone, we don't have enough, or we're waiting for that budget to come in, or then you can say, okay, no problem. Now I understand. What's your timing on that you think might be the right time that would fit you to make this work? See, what happens is they typically give you a phrase to have you step back because they don't want to be pressured. But by you diffusing and re-engaging without pressure, but opening up the back door and saying, can you tell me more about that context around that? It's amazing what's revealed from that. If that makes sense?
Yeah. No, it does. And the second part to that is that obviously those, they're listening and trying to get that out of them is hopefully you never get to that point. But if you do get ghosted, are there any kind of final ideas or suggestions? Because obviously everyone's bombarded with comms from text to email to SMS. Is there, or maybe speaking to a colleague, is there any kind of checklist on how you kind of finally are they ghosting you for a real reason, or is it just they're smashed and you found another path? Is there a checklist around that?
Look, the best way, there's multiple layers of how to keep people top of mind to re-engage them again. But the shortest route around your scenario you just mentioned to me to find out the truth of where they're at is a phone call. Assume you get them on the phone. It kind of goes like this. Let's just say the gentleman was Mark, who's your contact. Hi, Mark, it's Ari here. Hope you're well. Listen, I've been thinking about our conversation. That's the first thing you say. And they kind of go, huh? You're thinking about like me? And yeah, you've been thinking about the previous conversations you had. And I'm just giving you a ring, giving you a call to see. Because I recall when we spoke originally, your issues were X, Y, and Z. And you lay out the original problem that came to you for in the first place. And I'm just curious to see if that was resolved and you're able to move forward on that, and that was all resolved and taken care of, and the project is done. Is that all taken care of for you? It's like the doctor calling to saying, How's your shoulder going? Is it still painful? Does it still hurt?
Yeah.
He's not calling to say you're taking your medicine. Do you want the
Yeah.
medicine? You should have the medicine. Take the medicine. He's saying, how's the shoulder going? Same concept for you, Rob, is that you have to call and reorient the conversation around their original problem they're trying to solve.
Mhm.
That way, their perception is not you chasing the sale.
Yeah. And I think that goes to, a lot of what you talk about is giving that space for people to jump into. It's very easy to rush at everything, but if you can give them the space and they jump in the hole, the space, whatever, then obviously you learn heaps. So
when they feel that you're not trying to fill the space up with empty air of selling, they automatically gravitate to you. When they sense you're trying to move things forward, they pull back. That's the irony of all this. So really the overall lesson here and takeaway is let go of the sale and focus only on their problem. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Ari.
Have a good New Year's.
Cheers. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Welcome to the Stump the Guru show. We are live right now globally all over the world. People are calling in from Australia, the US, lots of different countries. There's a chance to jump in, ask me your toughest sales challenging question. I'll give you a different perspective you may not have heard before based on our trust-based approach. We've been at this for 20 years, still going strong, helping lots of folks right now, getting in the new year with a new perspective to make sure they're not doing the same thing they were doing last year. So, Steve, who else is back there in the wings ready to come on in?
All righty. Up next, we're going to bring on Suri. He's here. So, Suri, if you could tell everybody a little bit about yourself. And as you see, because you were on last month, I'm in far better health than the last time I saw you and back to full capacity. But if you could let everybody know your question and a little bit about yourself, that would be great.
Yeah, Steve, it's great to see you. I mean, I was really looking forward to seeing you again in your multicolored coat that you had on last time. It would have been great. So I'm a bit disappointed I don't get to see that. Yeah, man, the multicolored Joseph's coat. And I was like, man, he's got it on.
Well, you know, that was the cure for COVID, apparently. So that was the magic that made it all go away. So all right, let me with Ari here.
Well, Ari, great to see you. Good, thank you for having me on again. You know, my name is Suri. I'm with Mortgage Choice. I'm a mortgage broker doing traditional residential loans as well as commercial loans. And there's a concept in lending that there is something takes first position or superior. So my team and I were discussing what is superior when it comes to building a pipeline, building sales. So is it marketing that should be superior, meaning growing your brand, or is it actual sales to call people on? Which one is senior? Which one is superior, in your opinion?
Well, the way I look at it, there's two pieces of the puzzle when it comes to sales and marketing. And everything else falls behind that. One is lead generation, and one is conversion. You have to have both of those things work at the same time to turn the flywheel in your business. So you need leads, whether it's outbound prospecting or inbound leads. Then you need to have yourself or your team skilled at building enough trust with people to onboard them as a new client. So in terms of your question, if you're branding your business, getting quote out there, getting people to know you, I do not consider that lead generation. I would consider lead generation somebody that you've either outbound phone contacted, agreed to a conversation, or inbound. So if you're looking at a way to sort this out in your mind, you want to reorient your energy and budget. What are we doing to bring in more leads, whether it's outbound or inbound, and what are we doing to convert those leads to a new client? So they don't stack up. They kind of go linearly and they connect together into one flow. And once you focus all your energy on those two things coming together, nothing else matters, because they really don't care about your brand and your logo and your name. What they care about is they trust you when they talk to you. Obviously, it helps you if you have a huge brand name around you that gives you some credibility. but does not give you trust. You see, credibility is different than trust. And the challenge is that credibility has been commoditized. Others do mortgages too, not just you, unfortunately. So we're now in a commoditized world where you can't differentiate just on your brand. You have to differentiate on your approach. Hence where this comes into play, if that makes sense.
That's a very good point. I mean, I was and my objective of that meeting was to let them know that we've got to be speaking. We got to have a brand large enough to be able to have credibility, so we generate leads, because you've got to be able to speak with someone and put them into that funnel. And in your opinion, how many products should a company have? Is it one product, two products, three products?
Well, it depends how many problems you solve.
Yeah.
So if you categorize your different types of clients and put them into a matrix, like, young couple with kids buying new home, quadrant number 1, retiree selling big home to go to smaller place, downsizing. And number 2, just compartmentalize each of your type of clients, and you map the product to that ideal client. That's how I view that answer.
Yeah. I was telling my team, you got to have multitude of products, because the person on the phone, you don't know. And if you're looking to offer a product to someone who's, first young couple, and you're going to offer them, a retirement product, or let's say you have a home loan now, but you really need a car, you've got to have multiple products. And how do you feel about just that initial call to say hello? Should there be a script? Because I don't want my team wasting any time on people that are never going to buy.
Right. Well, you have to first start the mindset thinking around this to see if first they have the problem, not if they're going to buy. See, there has to be two components that have to work together. One is, do they have a problem? 2, actually, the 3 steps here. 1, do they have a problem? 2, are they open to solving it? And 3, are they open to scheduling time to discuss it? 3 mini steps that have to happen first. And that's the way you have to look at that. And that goes with languaging around, would you be open, and all that develops. So that's a lot of that's in my book as well, and my program online. But that should give you a starting point. But Suri, great to see you again. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Likewise, Ari. Speak to you later. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah.
You too. Take care.
See ya. Bye.
All right. We are live here at Stump the Guru Show. My name's Ari Galper with Trust-Based Selling. I've been doing this for a long time, 20 years, specializing just in the small niche to help people build trust, collapse the sales cycle. I'm working on my new book right now, coming out next year, called The One Call Sale, which will be revolutionary in how to collapse your sales cycle into one single conversation without chasing people. And I'm excited about that. But in the meantime, we're coaching on that right now with private clients, giving them all that intellectual property to use immediately in their business. So if you want to talk more about that, reach out to us. But in the meantime, let's see if there's anyone else out there who's got a question for me. Steve, how are we doing back there?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. So I'm going to bring Victor on right now. And I saw in my green screen camera, Victor has an adorable dog that is pacing in the background. Victor, if you could let Ari know a little bit about you and your question, that would be fantastic.
Sure. Hey, Ari, I follow your material. I've been in your classes in the past. Really helped me smooth out my process, feel more confident on the.
Your sound's a bit fuzzy there. I'm not sure if it's the mic or the phone.
Okay, but please, I'll be a little louder.
That's better, yeah.
Awesome. So I work with this marketing company, and I had a sloppy week. So your code of not being attached to the sale is not really something that I'm following, and I feel I'm pushing hard. One of the objections that I'm getting, that I get stumped at, is nobody's buying in December. People are in celebration mode. I like what you do, but hopefully we'll do something together in January, because nobody's going to reply now. So how do I?
Your sound's going out again. Is there a way you can? Do you have another microphone, or?
Yeah,
if you couldn't mind, it's just a bit staticky, so it's kind of hard to pick up.
Sorry about that.
Oh my
Sure.
God, so much better. Please start all over again, would you?
Okay, cool. So I work with this marketing company. I've been following your material for a while, and you did talk about not being attached to the sale, building rapport and trust first. But I'm getting stumped because one, I had a sloppy week, so I know things are going to slow down after Christmas. So I'm really pushing hard to follow up. And the two objections that I'm getting, number one is nobody's buying in December. That's what they are saying, that if I want to start something marketing or content, I'll do it next year. I like what you do, so I'm not able to handle that well. And another thing is a lot of good deals where I'm speaking to really positive influencers, like they might be the marketing executive, sales executive, not the decision maker. He really wants to push the deal through, but at the end of the day, it's not matching up that with that one call sale concept. I've wasted a lot of time with influencers not getting anywhere, where I feel like I'm going to get the sale in the next call, but it ends up going into another meeting. So
What are you selling?
marketing, lead gen, softwares and technology.
Okay. And what's the core problem you're solving? What does that solve for them?
It gets them meetings on their calendar. So we generate opportunity and appointments.
So do you guarantee that you'll get them appointments on the calendar? You'll
Yes.
get them leads?
Yes.
Okay. And do they not need any more leads right now?
They need leads.
Oh, so what's the problem then? So I'm role playing with you for a second here.
Okay.
Because it could be that what you're doing is, and I'm not sure, but you could be spending energy and time educating them on your system, on your technology, on your process, on your model,
Yes.
on how you work, on this. A lot of energy around how you solve the problem, but maybe not enough focus on the value of the problem itself. What I mean by that is it happens a lot of times because sometimes you have what I call the curse of mastery, meaning you know your stuff so well that you want to explain it to people so they understand how the whole system works, so they understand the value of it. But the irony of this is they really don't care about how the system works. What they care about is if you're the one they can trust to solve their problem. Okay. What that means is setting your system back a few steps and focusing only on the 3 steps I mentioned in the story, which is, we specialize in providing new qualified ideal leads scheduled on your calendar.
Makes sense. I think you're right, Ari. I was focusing more on the process because it's a very competitive industry. Every other guy is doing marketing. I thought that I might win their trust by telling them how my process is different, but not focusing more on the pain and going back to, asking simple, do you need meetings? That's what I do. I give you a guarantee.
You see, marketing has been commoditized. You can't differentiate, even though in your mind it might be different. From their point of view, it's just noise.
Yes.
I mean, go to LinkedIn, look at your inbox. They get emails every day of people saying, I can book you appointments from LinkedIn. They don't believe you. So you can't leverage the conversation off your system. Forget describing how it works.
Okay.
Just first get agreement on whether they want to solve their problem or not, and whether it would help their business grow if they got appointments on their calendar.
Okay. What would be a good question that I can ask, Ari, if you could maybe give me because sometimes, I don't end up, I don't want to end up sounding maybe too arrogant. Like, do you need more leads? Obviously, they need leads. And is this a high priority to get more clients?
No,
Obviously, it's a high priority.
I agree. Yeah, you don't want to sound salesy for sure. You change your languaging with our approach. So it goes something like this. Would you be open to a new perspective?
Love it.
On how to have pre-scheduled appointments with ideal clients on your calendar. Would you be
Love
open
it.
to it? See, it's not do they want it. See, here's the core of all this. They're judging you based on your languaging and your approach, not your solution.
Okay.
That's such a shift in people's thinking because we're so wedded to believing our job is to show our value because our solution is special. But
Makes sense.
psychologically, in their mind, they don't really care about how you solve their problem. All they care about is if you're the one to solve it or not, which means you have to let go of your informational approach and focus specifically on building that trust from the beginning. Hopefully that's helpful for you.
Very helpful. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring it up.
Excellent. Come back
No
again and let me know how that
Thank
goes,
you,
okay?
Aaron. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Great questions today. Thank you, everyone from around the world, for coming in. And it just, the more I have these shows and the more consulting that we do, really see a lot of the old belief systems still wet in the back of our minds that hold us back because we've been conditioned to believe that our job is to show value by showing the robustness of our systems, our people, our teams, what's unique about us. That's all about you and your business. And it's nothing personal, but the human condition isn't designed to really care about other people other than ourselves. Now, I'm suggesting that, of course, they care about how your system and how it works, but that's premature to the trust building process. That happens later once you have a roadmap to onboard them to explain what you do. So hopefully once you see that space that you're missing and how to fill in the space with trust-based methodology instead, then the gap closes and they immediately don't work with you. Because here's the thing. They got a problem, you got a solution. Straight line of sight. But what happens is we fumble the ball in the middle of that with the old sales conditioning that gets in the way of that. So hopefully with that new way of thinking in the new year, you'll take that to heart and you'll be successful. And please come back. Let us know how it's going. See if anybody else back there that we have in the waiting room, or we're good to go.
No, we had one with technical difficulties, but we'll reach out to him. I'll send him an email and get him ready for the next show and bring him on. So it's all good.
Great.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy holidays. And I will leave Ari to sign off.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming again. If you haven't got my new book, Unlock the Sales Game, it's right on our website, unlockthegame.com. If you want to have a complimentary, absolutely zero pressure consultation with myself or my team, just go to unlockthegame.com/free consult and look out for my new book next year, the one call sale. And I really believe that if you're open-minded and coachable, you can transform results very quickly by letting go of the old habits you're used to doing unconsciously and being more authentic in your approach and using languaging that builds that trust instantly without having to sell yourself and your soul in the first place. So we'll say goodbye for now. Thank you everyone for coming on today. Have a safe holiday, and we'll see you in the new year. Signing off.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.